gonna tie this hair down, because once I tie this down,
Take you out to Malibu. High sake, we need to eat at Nobu. And baby gotta smile like an actress. Baby was attracted by the gold.
Okay, y'all, so today is gonna be one of those videos where I look crazy for 90% of the video, but we have to remember that it's for the greater good. Let's jump right into it. If you've already gotten this far, you have now seen me looking completely crazy, so we're friends now. So go ahead and hit the subscription button down here, hit the little bell so you know when I post, and let's jump right into it. So I was an avid wig wearer, and recently I switched to getting sew-ins again. I wanted to leave out, I just wanted scalp. I was just over the whole wig lace situation, having to deal with all that. And I've gotten a lot of questions of how you maintain your hair, how do you take care of your leave out, how do you not like mess up your curl pattern and all that with working out, that kind of deal. And the answer is I don't. I sweat a lot naturally, so my scalp sweats. If you introduce moisture to your natural hair, it's going to revert to curls. So my hair does curl back up. And this is how my hair looks and my leave out looks after a week of workouts. I literally just came from the gym like this morning. So yeah, it's rough. And honestly, we looking real crazy this video. By Saturday, I am like, ooh, girl. But I think what's most important is how you maintain your hair like weekly. So I have a weekly routine that I'm going to show you guys today that is helping me to maintain my weave, maintain my leave out, keep my curl pattern, not have heat damage, because a lot of people, you know, sew-ins, we stopped because we were frying our hair, frying our leave out, which I am using heat products, but my weekly routine has been helping me keep my hair protected, keep my curl pattern intact, and just not look as crazy. Now I know it might seem like a lot before I even start, but honestly my wash day routine for my natural hair was long. It was long. It was an all day thing, from the twisting to the air drying to all that. So let's jump right into how to maintain your sew-in, your weave, your leave out while still working out, and not even just working out. This might just be good for people who sweat, and it's gonna be summertime soon and you want to have a sew-in. I really have been appreciating sew-ins a lot more since I was wearing wigs for so long. So I just want to keep it as healthy as possible. If you have any questions on this hair, I will link it down below, what this hair is and the company and all the details and that kind of stuff. I can do a review on it. Just let me know if you are interested in that. And let's jump right into the steps. I don't know why I sang that. So I'm going to separate out my leave out just so you can see. I do have quite a bit of hair out. It is like, ooh. Yeah, so I like to separate my leave out from the hair because we're going to be treating the leave out differently from the weave. So definitely separate your leave out. And this is going to get everything. Okay, so because I sweat and there's going to be dirt by the end of the week, I have used edge controls, I have used products, I have used holding spray, all the above, and I have sweat on top of that. So I do tend to get, like, I get itchy, and you don't want to be like, no, we don't want to do that. I use the Cantu Shea Butter Apple Cider Vinegar Root Rinse. Now, I discovered this product when I had my locks. The stylist recommended it to me. It's only $7. You can do it at home, like DIY apple cider vinegar rinse, but apple cider vinegar rinse, but I just didn't have the time. So I just take this and I'm gonna go right along all my parts where my leave out is. Definitely on here because I do have like edge control and just build up a product, and this helps like break down those products, cleanse your scalp. And then I take it, because it is this like really neat applicator tip, and I go right between my braids. So I'm just gonna go between my braids and get to that root, because we want to get all that dirt and that sweat and everything out of here. So once you kind of go through the hair and put it in all your parts between your braids, you will start to feel a little bit of tingle, which I really like. It's actually really refreshing. And you're just gonna let that sit. I let it sit for like a few minutes, not too long, just to kind of start breaking down those products. and I massage it in a little bit, and then we're gonna go wash our hair. So I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'll come back to get ready to wash. Okay, so now that we've let the apple cider vinegar rinse, I am going to go ahead and wash. What I use to wash, I'm old school. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like my go-to products. I like to use mane and tail. I use the mane and tail shampoo and conditioner. Now, on my weave, I only use the conditioner. So on the bundles, I'm only going to use the conditioner. I am going to use the shampoo on my hair because I want to completely strip the oils from, not completely strip, but I want to get that oil and that dirt out of my leave out. So I'm going to use the shampoo on my leave out. I'm only going to use the conditioner on my bundles, and I'm going to use a conditioner on my leave out as well. So once I wash, I'm going to wash, condition, and I will be right back. Okay, so we have washed. Yes, I'm wearing a mask. This is a process and it takes time, so multitasking just makes everything move faster. Okay, so we have washed everything, conditioned the bundles, shampooed the leave out. I'm just gonna brush everything out. Now, typically, I'll be honest, I prefer to let it air dry. But I got stuff to do today, so that's not gonna be the plan. But first, because I do always like to check on my leave out and just make sure she's doing okay, because as you'll see, we do use heat to get her straight and to match the bundles. So I do like to deep condition my leave out separately. After I shampoo, condition it, I do like to go in with a deep conditioner. The conditioner that I like to use, actually y'all recommended to me on my story when I asked like a while ago about a good deep conditioner. I like to use the silicone mix. So once my hair is washed, I let it towel dry or air dry for just a little bit. And then I just go in. I don't know what the recommended amount of product to use is, but anybody who's natural knows we don't use a dime size or nickel size or whatever they usually suggest us to use. So I just go through and put a generous amount of this on. Try not to get on the weave. I'll rinse that out. That's fine. But you don't want to, I don't deep condition the weave because the last thing you want is your weave to be greasy and oily. It's easier to add moisture to your bundles, but once your weave is greasy, I'm sure anybody who's tried certain kind of products on their bundles knows, like, once the hair is greasy, you have to wash it and start over. So I'm going to put a generous amount, and then again, I'm going to let this sit on for just a few minutes, like 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, nothing too crazy, just to do some extra moisturizing. And then I'll rinse that out, and then we'll be on to our next step. Okay, so we have officially cleansed, shampooed and conditioned, and deep conditioned, and here we are now. So clearly, my curl pattern is still there. That's always exciting because you never know. So now we can go to the blow dry. So I do blow dry it when like I said, when I don't have time. I always blow dry my leave out. I prefer to air dry the bundles just because I like them in their natural state. But ain't nobody got time for that today. So we are going to blow dry. Now for my bundles, it's pretty cut and dry. This hair is pretty durable. So for the most part, I don't use any product or put anything on it. I just blow dry it as is. When we flat iron it, I do have a flat iron Protectant that I like to use. But the bundles, I don't put anything on. I just blow dry it, nice and simple. Keep it cute. Now for my leave out, I like to use the Keracare Creme Press Cream. So it comes in this little jar. Keracare isn't the cheapest product, but it's really good on my natural hair, especially when I used to like wear my hair out a little bit more and try to straighten and everything. So I literally just take a tiny amount of the cream press, and this is just to protect my hair and just kind of start the silkening process to help with frizziness and everything as we style. So I just put a little bit in my palm like that and just kind of run it on my leave out. Not a lot, because you don't want your leave out to start getting weighed down and getting like greasy. You just want it to have a little bit of protection, making sure I get some on the end, because the ends is where it starts to get real crazy for me. So just a little bit. Now this is where the suggested amount does matter, because I've definitely used too much of this before and I had to wash my leave out again just because it was just so weighed down and so heavy. So just a little of this goes a very long way. I'm trying to see what part is my leave out. What's the weave? I do want to say thank goodness for growth, because leave out's pretty long and this isn't even blown out yet. So we're just gonna go in and I'm gonna blow dry my leave out first, and then I'll clip that on top, and then I'm just gonna section off the bundles and just blow dry those. Making sure you're really thorough. You wanna get those braids dry. Sometimes I sit under the dryer just because you don't want your braids to be wet and you're walking around and you end up with like weird mildew or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the blow drying process, and you'll kind of see how it goes from there. So you have to be patient because it does take time, especially trying to get them braids dry. It takes time getting all this hair dry, but you don't want it to be wet at all because when you go to flat iron it, if your hair is wet, it is a mess. So just be patient. We almost done. Whew. Okay, so we are all blow dried out. Now I'll be honest, usually I like to go in and flat iron my bundles as well as my leave out, but for whatever reason, today I'm kind of liking the way it's laying. When you blow dry, it's a little fluffier, but I kind of like the way that looks. If you guys can see, I kind of like the way this looks. So now we're just gonna go into flat ironing the leave out. Maybe I'll bump the bundles a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so when I flat iron my leave out, first of all, got a little curl going on. I always take my clips and I just pull back my tracks to let the edges out. I do leave a little bit of my edges out just because you want to make sure you're flat ironing those as well. Let me get this out of my face. I flat iron those as well just to make sure everything is even. You don't want to have like straight hair, straight leave out, and then your sideburns are just popping out looking crazy. So I just pull all my hair that is out, separate that from the weave, and clip it back out the way. Worry about it later. Okay, so my hair is in a middle part, which is hard enough to do in the mirror, so Lord, pray with me as I try to do this on camera. So I separated all my hair out, and now I'm just gonna part my hair in the way that it is styled. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna part it, and if it's not perfect, we're just gonna keep going just for... Okay, that's not even kind of straight. Okay, so she's not like that straight, but she's straight enough. Now, I'm gonna, again, I almost feel like there's a recurring theme. So the most important things I would say when styling your hair and trying to maintain and revive your sew-in, your leave out, is to work in sections and to treat your hair every step of the way. So let me just get this little piece out the way. So now that I am going to flat iron, I like to go in with the Cantu, again, back with Cantu, Shea Butter Thermal Shield Heat Protectant. Very important to use a heat protectant. I have my flat iron cranked up, so you want to protect your hair, and that helps with your curls. Now, I have my flat iron, but I also have my hot comb because I'm old school. Whatever your straightening tool of choice is, because I also have like a root straightener that I use sometimes. Whatever works for you. If your flat iron does the trick, just use your flat iron. I do feel like the hot comb kind of gets all the individual strands, but whatever works for you. And I like to spray the heat protectant on individually. Or for each side. I'm sorry about that. I like to spray the heat protectant on for each side. So I just give it a few pumps. You don't want to like soak the hair because you don't want it to like fry, but you do want to make sure you distribute it through all the strands really well. And that Cantu has been doing a really good job protecting my hair. Like, it doesn't feel fried, it doesn't smell burnt, nothing like that, which is my fear, that I'll take my sew-in out and now like my hair won't curl up and it's heat damage and all that kind of stuff. So definitely love that product. All right, so I'm gonna go through just one quick, just to get to the root with the comb. This isn't like I said, not to fully straighten it, just to get to the root and just kind of get that going. Then I will come in with my flat iron. I burned the hell out of my hand yesterday trying to like wand my hair, so hopefully this is not a repeat of that. And then just section by section, just getting really close to the scalp. Nice and slow to get all that hair straight. And that should be it. There we go. So just keep doing that by sections. I usually like to do these after sometimes because I like to turn the heat down, just because you only got one set of edges, and when they're gone, not that they can't come back, but who wants to have to go through that? I just kind of really lightly hit those. When we put, if you put any product like edge control or anything on there, it's going to kind of straighten them out anyway, so you don't need it to be like bone straight. I just don't like the curlies at the root going into my weave because it looks a little crazy. Like, we know it's weave, sis, but you ain't gotta, you know, have two totally different textures of hair. Same thing on this side. Okay, y'all, so what I'm doing right now is I'm literally just making sure it all goes smoothly into the weave. Again, I'm probably not going to flat iron because I do like this kind of flowier, fluffier version of the hair. But I just don't want it like sticking out from the weave or anything. Same thing with edge control, like that's totally at your discretion. Since I like this kind of more natural like fluffiness of the hair right now, I'm not gonna go crazy on the edge control. I am just gonna use a little bit of the EcoStyler Black Castor and Flaxseed Oil Gel on my edges, just to kind of brush those back a little bit. This product, I like how it holds my edges. It's not like too firm of a hold to where it's like way too slick down unless you tie it down like I want everything. But it just gives a natural enough hold that I feel like looks realistic with this hair. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my fingers and literally like a little bit. I know I love my baby hairs, but I'm not doing baby hairs today. I'm just doing a light little brush back just to help smooth them out a little bit, and then I'll tie them down so it'll be a really natural kind of deal. Same thing over here. You see I keep having this like flyaway. When I tie it down, that's all gonna kind of like mold together. Another reason I don't put oil on my weave is because I feel like over time and like the oil and stuff you put on your hair, it ends up where like the residual gets onto the weave, so the weave gets moisturized anyway. But if you already put oil on the weave and then you put the oil on your hair, tie your hair down, your hair's touching the weave, you end up with the greasy weave, which is what we're trying to avoid. Okay, y'all, so that is my start to finish routine of how I maintain my sew in, my leave out, my weave while working out. So we went through our 5 steps. We cleansed, we shampooed and conditioned, we deep conditioned, we blow dried, and we flat ironed. So that is start to finish. I do that every weekend. When I was natural, I had a wash day every week. So honestly, I don't feel like it takes any more time up than when I was natural. And I'm maintaining my curls. I'm keeping my bundles lasting longer, everything like that. So if you have enjoyed this, if you have any questions, all of the above, none of the above, please feel free to leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, let me know what you guys want to see. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.